Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the new chapter, Kingdom Animalia. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the basis of classification, classification of Kingdom Animalia, non-chordates, that is the invertebrates up to phyla level, and chordate up to class level. So Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia comprises millions of animal species, and studying them without a basic classification may lead to confusion. So we cannot able to study the different varieties of animals without a basic classification. There are several new species of animals have to be yet discovered, and scientists are also constantly discovering the new species. So classification is very essential for the identification, naming and assigning a systemic position to the newly discovered species. The animal kingdom is classified mainly based on the closely resembling characteristic features. Now we'll see the characters of Kingdom Animalia. They are eukaryotic. What do you mean by eukaryotic? Eukaryotic means they have a well-defined nucleus. That is, they have a true nucleus. So the nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membrane, and the organelles are also surrounded by the membrane. So this is called as eukaryotic. Multicellular, that is the body is made up of many cells, that is called as multicellular. Heterotrophic organisms. Heterotrophic means animals depend upon other organisms for their food, and they cannot able to prepare their own food. That is called as heterotrophs. So Kingdom Animalia is characterized of eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophic organisms. So Kingdom Animalia include about 35 phyla. In that, 11 phyla are considered as a major phyla. So 11 are considered as major phyla, and almost, if you take 99% of animals are invertebrates. What are invertebrates? Invertebrates means animals without backbone. So they are very simple animals. Their body plan is very simple. So of the total, that is animals, 99% are invertebrates or animals without backbone, and the remaining represents the vertebrates or animals with backbone. So they are called as vertebrates or chordates. So those animals have backbone. And based on the presence or absence of notochord, that is the vertebral column, the animals are also grouped into two major categories. They are non-chordates. Non-chordates means they are nothing but the invertebrates, that is without backbone. And the next category is chordates, that is with the presence of backbone. Now we'll see the basis of classification. So what is the basis of classification means? All multicellular organisms are structurally and functionally different, but they possess some common fundamental features. So the common fundamental features are the arrangement of cell layers, the level of organizations, nature of coelom, presence or absence of segmentation, notochord, and the organization of the organ system. All this we are going to learn in detail. First we'll see about the level of organization. So what do you mean by level of organization means? All members of Kingdom Animalia are metazoans. So what do you mean by metazoans? Multicellular animals. What is protozoans? Unicellular animals. So, kingdom Animalia are multicellular animals, and they exhibit different patterns of cellular organization. So, they exhibit different patterns of cellular organizations. The cells of the metazoans are not capable of independent existence. So, they are not capable of independent existence, and they exhibit division of labor. What do you mean by division of labor? Different cells perform different functions. Among the metazoans, cells may be functionally isolated. So, the cells may be, that is different cells function, that is perform different functions, that is called as functionally isolated, or similar kinds of cells may be grouped together. So, similar cells grouped together to form tissues, and similar tissues grouped together to form organs, and different organs grouped together to form the organ system. First, we will see about the cellular level of organization. So, the basic level of organization is seen in sponges, that is cellular level of organization. So, what do you mean by cellular level of organization? Means the body of these organisms are made up of only cells, and there is no tissues or organs. So, this is the basic level of organization, that is the cellular level of organization is the basic level of organization. That is, the body of these organisms are made up of only cells. Example, sponges. The cells in the sponges are arranged as loose aggregates. In this picture you can able to see the cells are arranged as loose aggregates and do not form tissues. So, they do not form tissues. They exhibit cellular level of organization. So, there is division of labor among the cells, and different types of cells are functionally isolated. So, I already told you division of labor means different cells perform different functions. In sponges, the outer layer is formed of pinacocytes. So, in this picture you can able to see the red, that is the yellow color part. They are the pinacocytes. So, the outer layer of sponges are made up of pinacocytes. So, what do you mean by pinacocytes? Means plate-like cells that maintain the size and structure of the sponges. So, the outer layer of the sponges is formed of pinacocytes. Pinacocytes means they are plate-like cells. They are plate-like cells that maintain the size. These cells only maintain the size and structure of the sponges. And the inner layer is formed of choanocytes. So, these choanocytes are flagellated collar cells that create and maintain the water flow through the sponge, thus facilitating the respiratory and the digestive functions. So, the red color part you can able to find, they are the choanocytes. So, they are flagellated collar cells. So, they have flagella, hair-like structure. So, the cells have hair-like structures called as flagellae. So, they are called as flagellated collar cells, and they create and maintain the water flow through the sponges. So, thus facilitating the respiratory and the digestive functions. So, cellular level of organization means here the body of these organisms are only made up of cells, and different cells perform different function. Example, sponges. In sponges, the outer layer is made up of pinacocytes, which maintain the size and structure of these organisms, and the inner layer is formed of the choanocytes. The choanocytes mainly does the respiratory and the digestive functions. Next, we are going to see about the tissue level of organization. So, what do you mean by tissue level of organization? Means here the body of these organisms are made up of tissues. Example, Hydra. In some animals, cells that perform similar functions are aggregated to form tissues. First, what are tissues? Means tissues are group of cells or otherwise a group of cells combined together to form tissues. So in some animals, the cells which perform similar functions are grouped together to form tissues. The cells of a tissue integrate in a highly coordinated fashion. So the cells of the tissue, they integrate in a highly coordinated fashion to perform a common function. So similar cells group together to form a tissue which perform a common function due to the presence of the nerve cells and the sensory cells. The tissue level of organization is exhibited in diploblastic animals. So this can be seen in the animals like cnidarians. Cnidarians example, Hydra. So the formation of tissues is the first step towards evolution of body plan in animals. So here similar cells group together to form the tissues to perform a common functions. So this is the first step of evolution, and this type of, that is tissue level of organization, is seen in the Hydra. Next we are going to see about the organ level of organization. So what do you mean by organ level of organization? Means here the body of these organisms are made up of organs. So it is an advanced level over the tissue and the cellular and the tissue level. So the body is made up of different organs. Different kinds of tissues aggregate to form an organ. So how an organ is formed means different kinds of tissues, they group together to form an organ to perform a specific function. Organ level of organization is a further advancement over the tissue level of organization, and it appears for the first time in the phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes means the body is flat. Top and bottom portion of the body is flat, so they are called as Platyhelminthes, and seen in other higher phyla. So in the organ level of organization, different tissues group together to form an organ to perform a specific functions. So it is an advance, that is this organ level of organization is a further advancement over the tissue level of organization, and it appears for the first time in the phylum Platyhelminthes. Example, Planaria. Here in this picture you can able to see. So Platyhelminthes means they are flatworms. They are the simplest bilateral animals. So flatworms have organs. Example, Planaria. So planarians have a simple nervous system consisting of a brain branching nerves. As in cnidarians, the mouth of the flatworm is the only opening for its gastrovascular cavities. So this is about the organ level of organization. Next we are going to see about the organ system level of organization. So in the organ system of organization, the body of the organism is made up of organ system. So what do you mean by organ system? Different organs group together to perform a similar function. So that is called as an organ system. So different organs group together to form an organ system. For example, if you take the if you take the excretory system, what are the organs in the excretory system? Kidney, then ureter, urinary, bladder, all these are the organs of the excretory system. And if you take the circulatory system, what are the different organs? The circulatory system consists of the heart and the blood vessels. So different organs group together to form the organ system. The most efficient and highest level of organization, when you compare to the other levels of organization such as the cellular level, tissue level, organ level, the organ system level is the highest level of organization among the animals, and it is exhibited by the flatworms, nematodes. Where you can able to see this organ system level of organization means in the flatworms, nematodes. That is annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms and chordates. The evolution of mesoderm in these animals has led to this structural complexity. Why the body have structural complexity means due to these animals have mesoderm. We have learned, isn't it? The 3 layers, that is we'll be learning in detail: ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So these animals have mesoderm. The tissues are organized to form organs and organ systems. So the tissues are organized to form the organs and organ system in these animals. Each system, if you take the different systems, such as in this picture you can able to see the nervous system, structural system, digestive system, intestinal system, urinary system, circulatory system, respiratory system, skeletal system, glandular system, all this different system is associated with a specific function. For example, if you take the excretory system, they perform excretion, that is removal of waste materials from the body. And if you take the circulatory system, what is the main function of the circulatory system? To transport the blood all over the body. So each system performs specific function and show organ system level of organization. Highly specialized nerve and sensory cells coordinate and integrate the functions of the organ system, which can be very primitive and simple or complex depending upon the individual animal. So these systems, it may differ as simple or a complex or very complex according to the animal. For example, if you take the digestive system of Platyhelminthes, it has a single opening to the outside. This single opening serves as both mouth and the anus, and hence they are called as incomplete digestive system, because there is no separate opening for mouth and anus. So the single opening acts as both mouth and anus. So they are called as incomplete digestive system. From Aschelminthes to chordates, all animals have a complete digestive system with 2 openings. So when we call it as a complete digestive system means which has a 2 opening, that is the mouth and the anus.